Hi there. Welcome to Crazy Good Aging. I'm Dorothy.
I'm Valerie.
We're your hosts and co-founders of Prime Women Media and PrimeWomen.com. And just one little brief commercial here. As soon as this episode is over, please go to PrimeWomen.com and subscribe to our newsletter. You're going to love it. So today, Valerie, we have our very two besties. With that, let's go around and introduce everyone.
I'm Cynthia.
I'm Karyl.
All right, ladies, now we're going to talk about how we age gracefully, or what we think about aging gracefully as a badass, with heels on or no heels on. So what do we think about? What does aging gracefully mean to you all?
Well, to me, I don't exactly reject it. However, I think I'm aging loudly in that I love the age I am now. I just love being in my skin at this point in time. I've earned all these wrinkles, most of them from smiling. I hope a little wisdom came along with it. So I love it.
Good. Karyl, what does it mean to you?
Well, it means some of the same thing, aging loudly. I am very focused on doing what I want to do, when I want to do it, and with whom I wish to do it. And so choice is a big part of aging for me. The graceful part, I try not to swear at anybody out loud, but I am going to be nice.
Not even when you're driving.
You've been in my car.
Yeah.
No one heard it. No one heard it. But I plan to explore. I plan to go do whatever I want as often as I can. And the graceful part is that I'm choosing it, and that I am of goodwill and grace about whatever's happening around me.
Well, I agree with both of you, and I'm going to add that I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. You know, it's just I'm of the age where you don't like what I have to say or do. Well, I'm sorry.
Valerie, I've known you for over 35 years now. I don't think you ever care.
I was wondering about that.
The truth comes out. Never really cared, but I acted like I did.
Well, maybe there was a little facade.
Or maybe it came with the apology right after she realized she just stepped in it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should take gracefully out of the picture and just say aging.
Maybe.
Yeah, because when I think of aging gracefully, I always think about, not getting any work done. Well, let's face it, that has not been me by any stretch, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know it's shocking, but I have had some work done. So, so for me, aging gracefully isn't anything to do with the exterior, because I don't think I want to just right off in the sunset with how I look. I want to kick and scream all the way. I really do.
Nothing's changed there either.
Fight it. Yes, I'm going to fight it. I've been a fighter, I'm going to still fight it. But I love this age too, Cynthia. Yeah. I mean, I love getting older. Not necessarily look in the mirror, but I love the age. And we all are really blessed because we're in great health, and that's got a lot to do with it. We're fortunate. I mean, we've done a lot to stay there, but, being in good health, being fit, it makes all the difference in the world.
And we like, because we've started businesses and we're still doing things differently, and we're reading about all the things that are going on differently in the world, we like to keep up with all of that.
We're relevant.
Very relevant. You're right.
I think it is a mindset thing, that from the beginning, we had a mindset, we can do this, and we can do this aging well as well.
Right.
So crazy good.
Right.
Aging.
Yeah. Crazy good. And we are a bit crazy, but we are doing this well. I think we're all doing it well. Yeah. There's some stuff out there that people are trying so hard to live forever. I don't know that I'm trying to live forever at all. I'm trying to live strong. But it's amazing the expense and trouble some people are going to lengthen their lives. I was reading about this British couple that are planning to live to be 150.
That sounds awful.
That does sound awful.
But some of the things that they're doing and how they live their life so precisely, and it's
No
just-
spontaneity, you mean? Did they just, they're going to eat oats today and oats tomorrow and
Well,
oats
yeah,
the next
I
day?
think they're going to some of those those longevity clinics that hit you with all these very strange things that you can do.
and very expensive
And
things.
very expensive.
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I read an article recently about how they were comparing people who had done all of these things and gone to these really high-priced clinics and all these stuff for aging and had all these tests run and, you know, eating according to their
Yes, and taking
blood.
500 supplements.
Yeah.
Or not eating, starving
Or not
themselves.
eating.
Yeah,
you know,
nuts-
being
nuts
on
and
a
berries.
500 calorie a day diet
and
for
berries.
most of your life.
And-
I mean, why not diet tomorrow?
Right, and found out in this study, they found out that they didn't
Doesn't make a
live
difference.
one bit longer.
Well, some of this I feel like might be targeted my way because each of you have heard me say I'm going to live to be 100. And,
Oh, 100,
well,
sure.
100
I'm all in
is
there.
Reasonable.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies, we're all entrepreneurs, and so we've all had careers, I guess, probably from the day we were born, maybe. But we have been busy ladies and building, etc. Tell me, what would you say has been the biggest thing you've learned since 50 with either your business or your career, dealing with work relationship? What have you learned that is priceless?
Well, as living other people's expectations of who you are and what you do, drop it. That's the number one thing, but it's very hard to do.
Right.
Yeah, I think so
I'd
too.
say be prepared to reinvent yourself.
Yes, that's great.
Opportunistically, you know, when one door closes, another opens. Think that way. Because I've jumped from entrepreneurship to being acquired and moving into the corporate world, then back out to entrepreneurship or whatever, and now I'm back in the corporate boardroom, different place. But it's a place, one of the few, where age is actually valued, it's found out. So that's a good place to be right now.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been through, as you all have, recessions, pandemics, losing clients, gaining clients. I mean, it's all over the board, and it can be very stressful. But what I've learned over 50 is this too shall pass. You know, nothing's going to last forever, and especially in the negative zone. You know, you're going to have negativity and you're going to have positivity, and so you know when you're in the negativity part that it's going to change, and you just have to get through it. So I'm able to chill out a whole lot more about everything, and I know that a lot of people out there are scared to death to lose their jobs because of AI. You know, that seems to be the big topic right now in the workforce. And I just tell people, you know, this has happened over many years, other technologies.
Yeah.
And what happens is, yes, the jobs change. They do change.
Yes, they
But
do.
there's jobs, and there's going to be plenty of them.
Right.
So,
And to your point, you've got to
yes.
reinvent yourself.
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I would say I haven't seen you chill much. Well, I have not.
Her version of chill,
Chill.
is different
Okay.
than
I was
yours.
going to say I haven't seen chill because you have been very focused on capitalizing on each opportunity, and that. So I'm adding that to your list, my list, and
Okay.
all of our lists. Capitalizing on the opportunities as things change. That is what you learn at 50 that you didn't
Yeah,
know how to
that's
do
true.
Exactly.
at 30.
That's good.
Yeah,
Good point, Karyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and I loved your comment about AI because there will be other jobs. I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, I'm looking at AI how to completely revolutionize our online publication. And
Yeah.
probably even the video that we're going to end up putting out there. So,
Well, isn't it exciting to continue to learn new things about what's
Absolutely.
happening?
Yeah.
I mean, so many people hate change, and you know, there's some of that change I'm not particularly crazy about, right?
Right.
But all these new things that are happening, and all of not just in AI, but you know, us personally and our
Yeah.
physical being and everything is kind of interesting, and you keep learning and
Right.
using your brain.
right. And because you do have to remember, you know, we're all for entrepreneurs.
Right.
And that entrepreneurial spirit and that personality is more
Mindset.
risk-taking anyway.
Right.
And so
Well, I'd like to see more women over 50 start businesses. They can,
True.
they can do it.
True.
You can start a business at any age.
Absolutely.
Well, and you know, I don't know, Karyl, you might have been the one telling me that there were more women over 50 starting new businesses than any
in any other category.
segment, yeah.
Yes, that is
Good.
true.
Oh,
The
wow.
statistics
I
say,
didn't know that.
well, some of it's by choice, and that's what we would all love for
Yeah.
them to take their opportunity and create the business they want when they want at the time they want. But also, if you look at men and women, who gets let go, who gets frozen out, who's the target of microaggressions in the workplace, well, it's women.
It's women.
And they go, I'm not going to take that anymore. I'm going to go over here. So
Yes, that's true.
it's a good thing that's happening after a bad thing. So,
Yeah.
my thought.
What advice do you have someone starting a business, though, Valerie? I mean, you've started a lot of them, and you're over 50. What advice would you give them?
Well, right now, there are so many things that you can go to and participate in, right?
Yes.
That help you start a business. I mean,
true.
back when we started, there was nothing.
We had to
Right,
make it up.
Absolutely
Yeah.
Make it
nothing.
up.
Right.
as we went.
And now there's entrepreneurial centers and there's accelerators.
Yes,
You know,
accelerators.
those. There's all kinds of things like that. And there's lots of certificate programs in community colleges will also help you start a business.
Well, you know, I think the thing that helped all of us. Well, I don't know, Cynthia, if you were ever a member of the National Association of Women Business Owners.
Yes. NABO.
But NABO, but that was a huge help.
I was owned at that time. When
Oh,
you guys
that's
were
right, that's right.
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I was captive.
Yeah, you were
So
caught.
it took me a
burst
while
out.
to step out and become an entrepreneur. And
Right.
You burst
and,
out.
and by the
But-
time I built a sizable business, I got acquired again. I went back into captivity. So it took me a while to catch up with you guys. It wasn't through NABO, but
well,
other-
NABO was a great organization,
It
especially
was
when
in
you're
the
starting.
beginning. It was.
And it was the only resource
the
for
only
us.
one.
It was our only resource. You're absolutely right.
And to Valerie's point, now community colleges, organizations, associations all offer some version
Yes.
of an accelerator, or at least come and talk about what your strength is. And
Yes.
that's amazing how it's
Yeah.
popped up everywhere.
I know.
Right?
True.
And,
But-
and there are communities surrounding those organizations.
Yes.
There are people that are actually willing to share what
Yeah.
they've learned.
Right.
That did not exist.
No.
We were all scratching and trying to figure out what kind of
That was the
business.
beauty of NABO.
Yeah.
Because we would, go to the meetings. We'd have speakers. You had these small groups. If you remember, mastermind.
Mastermind.
That is, to me, I think
Right.
was the original mastermind was with NABO. And by the way, all four of us were part of a mastermind group.
Our own.
That we started.
Our mastermind group. Now we have shed a few people that were in our
And you allowed me in a little late. That was very kind of you.
We like to think of it as a dynamic growing.
I see.
Yes, yes, but the mastermind group was a beautiful thing because you could share your problems, your issues. You get their advice. Cynthia had completely different advice from Valerie or Karyl because her experiences were different.
Right.
So the beauty of
Yeah.
that was pretty amazing, and also you could find out, okay, well, I need a new accountant. Who are you using? Who's your attorney? So all of that was very, very helpful.
It was.
If you're interested in starting a business but really don't know how to go about it, write us a note, either in the comments below or go to our social media and leave us a note there. We'd love to put you in touch with people who could help you do that, because we'd like to see more women owning their own business, because it makes it a great place in this world. We have more women involved.
That's right.
And that those businesses go from one person in a house to many people someplace else.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You're
We want to see them grow.
Yeah, you're creating jobs.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
So, okay, now let's talk about our favorite series so far
Oh.
that you've watched.
Well, most recently, I have watched 2 and 3 seasons of The White Lotus. I must say, White Lotus finale was very flat, I thought. So now my husband and I, have moved on to Mobland. And
my
if
kind
you
of show.
loved
Yeah.
Peaky Blinders, this is Peaky Blinders grows up and goes to London.
Excellent.
So I'm not that crazy about it. Herb loves it. He loves the more blood and guts and mafia murders there are, the better. So he's into it.
Mobland.
So. Mobland.
brand
And
new.
the biggest problem is Pierce Brosnan is a real badass in a bad way.
Really?
Yes, he is the
Oh.
gangster leader person,
Oh,
and
no.
Helen Mirren, and she's meaner than he is.
Oh, no.
Well, now that sounds interesting,
Well,
right?
there you go.
You know,
It's brand new.
My favorite is Landman. I can't tell you how much I like that. I hated that it's over. Of course, I love Billy Bob Thornton, and I think that Sheridan wrote this for him. He had to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just absolutely written
perfect.
for him. And of course, John Hamm on there is just, I love looking at him.
You and a whole bunch of other people.
I
He's
do
on television
love
every morning.
looking
you
at
know,
him. Yeah. So that's my
pumping his next
favorite.
thing.
Well, season
Okay.
2 is filming now in Fort Worth.
I know. And Valerie and I were just over there, and they said
were
they
you
were
extras? I bet you were there.
I
saying,
should have.
Yeah, we
were
depend upon you to
hoping-
do that crap.
But they told, because we were going to the Fort Worth Club for lunch, and so the person who invited us said, there might be trouble getting in because they're doing some shooting around there. We're like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So first thought was, maybe I'll see Billy Bob Thornton. I thought, well, what do I care about? Oh no, I hope I see John Hamm. That's who I hope I see. But we didn't, alas.
I know.
So,
Too bad.
Okay, Karyl, what is your favorite series this year?
Well, my favorite this year, I'm going to tell you, I like any kind of police procedural. So, Mobland's in my spot. I'll be happy to do that. But honestly, I'll go back and rewatch The Lincoln Lawyer. I'll look at Bosch. I look at all of them. And, I mean, those are the original ones. And then anything that goes in that direction, I'll spend a Saturday with the television on and I'll watch it. I'll get all of them done.
Oh.
So just line them up. Any other police procedural criminal activity? I guess because life is boring at my end.
No,
of the
no,
world.
no. Actually,
I love all mine.
the number one shows for women, particularly women over 50, is crime.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, yeah.
Matlock
love
is
them.
supposed to be
Oh, I
really,
love
really
Matlock.
good. I haven't
watched
seen
it last
that
night.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been watching it since it started. Same with High Potential. And what's the other one that's on? Oh, and I love Tracker.
You know,
I
maybe
love
we,
him. Oh, he's hunky.
we need a podcast around crime. What do you think? Maybe some we could commit. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Just a thought.
Maybe we can invite the new police chief.
Oh, yeah.
Come and talk about it, and we'll tell him, well, what we think it is it's like on TV, isn't it?
All right, Valerie, so.
Well, I do like watching those crime shows where they take a real life situation.
You're back to reality TV.
Well, I do. I enjoy watching those because it's how they find the perpetrators is just fascinating to me. And of course, I don't watch a lot of what you all do, Landman and all that stuff. But I did love Ted Lasso.
Oh,
And I would not have watched that had it not been for you
Yes,
making
making you watch it.
doing binge watching of Ted Lasso in
Jackson Hole, yeah.
And that started it, and then Jay and I started watching it at home. But that is one of my all-time favorites.
the only
Still-
thing I have objected to around Ted Lasso is that they hired him from Wichita State University and made it sound like it was out in the middle of nothing.
Which it is. honey.
It is not. It is not.
Okay, so let's move along with, this is Prime Picks. Okay, tell me what you've bought so far this year, or something that you can't live without, or whatever.
My Lacome eyebrow pencil. About the time my eyebrows started missing and I was looking for them, they had come down here. I found them. They weren't gone. They just moved. I started trying out various cosmetic issues. I loved your eyebrows so much. I stare at you. I hope you probably know that weirdly. I stared at you and I was wondering what kind of makeup do you wear and everything. Then I realized that's real hair. You have hair on your eyes.
No, I've always had dark eyebrows, but they have started to go gray. So I am using a product on
Okay.
them. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes, and I will share it with
What's
you.
your product or whatever?
Okay, so my absolute favorite new product, and I use it night and day, is called Derma E and it's face oil. And so it has done more for my skin and face now than, and I've used every expensive product you can imagine. This is not very expensive, but Derma E, and I happen to have brought it with me to show it to you, but that's my favorite.
Okay, Valerie, what have you found?
Things that squeeze me in, like
Thanks.
That's not new. Come on.
Well, it's new for me.
Oh, you hadn't bought any Spanx because you've always been so teeny.
Well, not lately.
All right.
But
Well,
that was on Prime Picks were some of those products.
Oh, I know,
That help
yeah.
you, and some of them start like up here
Oh,
and
yeah.
go all the way down. Now, I haven't gotten one of those yet, but because I can't understand how it would stay up.
It doesn't.
yeah, I
Oh, it
started to
doesn't.
say.
Okay.
Yeah,
It just adds to
yeah.
your roll.
Does that-
You have to
Okay,
get the
well
whole
then.
bodysuit, the one that has the
Yeah,
bra
yeah.
and the thing, and it sort of
Yeah.
sleeks down.
Yeah,
yeah.
That just
Yeah.
sounds awful.
Oh, actually, it's the most comfortable of all that.
Yeah,
crap.
bodysuits are the best. Yeah, especially if you've got something really clinging. So and
Smooths it down.
so those work. My favorite new thing is Charlotte Tilbury. It's called Magic Cream, and it is you put it on in the morning after you've washed your face. You put on your sunscreen or whatever, and it is magic cream. Your foundation will stay on all day long, and
really?
it looks just amazing.
Okay,
Yeah,
magic
it's
cream.
terrific. Okay.
Okay.
Really quick, your favorite jeans because you're tall,
Some that reach my ankles.
and which
Narrow
one?
cut.
And where do
High
you
rise,
find
narrow
those?
cut.
And where do you
well,
find this?
most recently at Nordstrom's. I'd never
Yeah.
bought high-end jeans before, but this time I did. I'm usually a sort of Gap Wrangler person, but I found some at Nordstrom's that I love.
Was it a Nordstrom brand or
No, but I don't remember the brand.
Well, that's a big help to our listeners out
Sorry.
there.
Well, let them go to the
girl
jean
pants.
department at Nordstrom's.
Yeah. So, Valerie, what are you for the petite?
Not your daddy's jeans, not your mommy's.
Mothers, not your mothers.
Well, it's like 4 initials.
Not your daddy's jeans are like overalls.
Yeah, and that's somebody else's blog.
But they sell those at Nordstrom. But I always buy, or try to buy, like pedal pushers because then they go to my ankle.
If I get regular jeans, they are pedal
You guys
pushers.
are looking in the
well,
wrong spot.
Okay, another advertisement for Prime Women here. Okay, so go to Prime Women and put in jeans, and you will go see that we have a whole segment for petites and talls. As a matter of fact, we have a new article coming out for white jeans on Sunday that
Oh, I
has
love white jeans.
for tall women and for petite,
Petite, okay,
women.
all
Yeah.
right.
So what about us kind of normal size? Karyl?
Actually, I'm normal height, I'm like 5'4" or so, but that's at the cusp between sort of petite and normal. The real problem is I've got the long legs of a tall person and the very short torso. So that's, who does that really, really well? Banana Republic.
Oh,
And
really?
so, yeah, I buy a lot of Banana Republic and I like them. And they fit, slim through the hips. I don't have any hips. So it's hard to find long-legged, short-bodied jeans.
I bet.
Yeah. And
Well, my favorite is expensive ones are Page Laurel Canyon, and I love them because they fit through here and then they flare a little bit at the bottom, and they make. And I'm petite, and but not that petite, but they make you look taller.
Right.
And
Flares
then
do.
my favorite under $100 is Wit and Wisdom. And
Don't know that one.
if you've not tried it, all of you should try Wit and Wisdom because they have different lengths and they're really do a nice job. So
I needed to be short from the waist to
well,
the stride.
I bet they can handle it. Okay, ladies, we've got
Yes.
a few questions
Okay.
from our listening audience. Okay,
Ask away.
so is it weird? Karyl, I'll let you take this one. Is it weird to go on a date just for the free dinner if you're not that into them?
Okay, so weird isn't the word I'd use. I think it's a little bit wrong if the only reason that you're going is because you want a free lunch. On the other hand, I have a friend who was very successful in her own date search, and her favorite phrase is, "A girl's gotta eat." So
That's right. So
Okay.
So I'd say,
Wow.
go
Go for
ahead
it.
and have dinner. If you enjoy his company, if
Well,
you
but
don't
see, that's
enjoy
the
his
if.
company, don't go.
well,
Come
that's
on.
the if. Yes, you have to be trying to discover who they are. Think that there's some reason other than I want you to spend your money so that I can have lunch or dinner. No, I don't. Like
Okay,
that.
both of you can answer this one. My husband's retired and he's now home all the time. How do I lovingly tell him to go away for a little while or a long time?
I
So-
tell him regularly. No, we have built our house around this premise. He has his little man cave back over there where he puts all of his golf shit and stuff on the wall. It just looks awful, but he loves it and he stays there. And I go over here and I say, "We've been together too much and you talk all the time. You go over there and I will go over here." And Fox News or sports is on 24 hours a day over there, and it's nice and quiet over here. The kitty and I live on this end of the house.
I love that.
Okay, Valerie.
Well, Jay and I have always had different things that we're interested in or different people that we hang out
Yeah.
with. And so, for example, today he left to go to Austin to see his brother, and he's taking his nephew with him. And, I'm perfectly happy with that. In fact, I think it's really good for us to do different things.
Yeah, they always say absence makes the heart
Yeah,
grow.
yes. But I had knew a couple where they wouldn't go anywhere without
Oh, I
each
know many
other.
people like
Tweedledee and
And I just, no, we can't, we couldn't do that. We have to have some separation in life.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here with some really quick questions. Okay, what was the last thing you Googled?
Oh, the last thing I Googled was, and I know this because it's, why do cats sniff each other's butts? I have two cats. They know each other well, but
But why do they
because
sniff?
it's a
Yes.
cat's high five. It's hey, it's hello. That's all it means. And because they recognize each other's scent. My cats are doing that all day long, and I was thinking they were sick, or something. No, it's a high five.
But your cats like each other. Mine
Yes.
don't, and they sniff each other's
No,
butts
but
sometimes.
because it's
What is that about?
it's so they know them.
Okay,
Oh,
we're digressing here.
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
well,
Yeah, don't
last
ask
thing-
me about that. That's what I did. Yeah.
Last thing I Googled, a portable carbon monoxide detector.
All right.
I'm a bit of a tomboy and I like this stuff. We've been hearing on the news every week some other
died.
family or group of girls or guys goes to some exotic resort
Costa
that's
Rica.
not in a regulated country, and they happen to die because they give them a room by the air conditioning unit.
Oh.
So you all may be getting this for Christmas. I've actually ordered one. It's a little thing this
Wow.
big. So you could, when you go to these out of the way places, plug it in. Maybe you won't die.
It would not be my plan, but that's a good one. Okay, cats and carbon monoxide. And what else?
That's okay. Yeah.
Don't you? I mean, haven't you
Well-
seen the news of people passing
Well, I
away?
did.
Most
Yes,
recently,
yes,
most
yes.
recently Costa Rica. It's been in Mexico, Dominican Republic. Just
Poorly ventilated external.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so, Valerie, what have you Googled?
I Googled how to make the perfect lemon drop martini.
You did, and did you
Because
get the
that's my
answer?
favorite drink now, all of a sudden.
Right, yeah. So you got
And
the
I-
answer.
I got 500 answers.
Yeah, because it's in the personal taste
Yes,
test space.
Exactly.
Okay, the thing you swore you'd never do when you turned 50.
No.
Oh.
Talk about all the things that were wrong with me physically.
Ooh, that is a good one.
That is a good one.
That's
My mother
a good
used to
one.
do
Not
that. and I
having
said,
those
I'm
conversations.
never going to do that.
I know.
What are we all doing?
I know.
Talking about.
Well,
Exactly what we're all doing.
Yes.
That's a good one. Okay. How many glasses of wine or alcohol did you have last week? How many nights did you drink? Let's
How
just say
many
that.
nights did
Yeah,
I
yeah.
drink? 10. You just have to make your weeks longer. I know you're supposed to have one drink a day, so 7 days doesn't get it for me. So anyway.
Okay, all right.
that's good. That's fine.
Yeah, Valerie, how many did you?
3, because I went out 3 times to 3 events and drank at all 3 of them.
Okay, well, back to, and how many of those lemon drops did you have at each one? So, I'm probably had a drink every day. Never ever have more than 2, and most of the time I have 1.
Okay, well, good for you.
Good.
I had been on the track where I was only drinking when I was out, and had cut it down to 2 glasses a week. Well, I don't know what happened last week.
Maybe you hung out with
I sort of did the 10.
Sorry.
I did the 10 nights, I think. Yeah, sadly. Okay, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Yes.
And it's been great. I've loved having our besties, haven't you, Valerie? This has
Been fun.
been really fun. I hope
Yes.
you all have enjoyed
Y'all
it
have done a
too.
good job.
I hope we're still friends.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt. Here we are.
Okay, so and if you enjoyed the podcast, please leave us a comment and
Yes.
let us know. Also subscribe and give us one of those nice thumbs up, and then you can also go to our social media at Crazy Good Aging and Prime Women and write comments there. Also, any ideas you'd like to have for an episode, things you'd like for us to talk about or to cover. We'd love to hear from you. So that's it for us, and we will join you next week for Crazy Good Aging.